is actually SpaceX says its Starlink satellite internet service now has over 10,000 users. That was a very, very interesting topic I found. What do you think about this, Joe? Like, what do you think about the whole Starlink system? Like, I know we've covered this in the past.
Well, yeah, I mean it's cool to see internet spreading like this. They think what was it? It was like what was it? 20 megabytes per second,
I think so.
something pretty
If I'm
big.
correct.
But yeah, it helps people who are in regions that don't really have the infrastructure. Like maybe the terrain is too
Correct.
difficult, or maybe they're in a very remote place. Yeah,
Or it could be out in a desert, or it could be out in a how do you say it, or a bunch of trees are around you, and then you have a wide open gap, and you could just try to see if you could get signal from there,
oh yeah,
or
yeah.
put a giant tower up, and then so you could actually so kind of get some
Yeah,
satellite internet.
like if you're like really north in Canada, there's like a lot of like snow and ice all the time, or
Correct.
like it'd be tough to like always make a lot of like. I mean, they do it, but it's still it's more expensive.
Yeah.
You even find in places where it should be relatively cheap to put more internet down, it doesn't happen as fast as people want it. So a satellite is pretty cool.
Correct. And then also too, I don't know if you saw the price, Joe. That it's $99 a month, and for an additional a $4.99 upfront cost to order the Starlink kit. Do you think that much that for that price is worth it?
I think it depends on how desperate you are and like where you are, right? It does,
Yeah.
because like again, we've talked about internet pricing before. I pay $70 for a business line. I get 25 down, 5 up. You live in an area where you get Google Fiber, and you get like what $15 for like 100 up and 100 down or something. If you were in an area where even those two services weren't available and you had to do like really low DSL, like where you only get like 1.2 up or something, or like maybe I don't know, like 5 down or so, I don't know, whatever, right? This might be like the only option. So
Yeah.
it's not like the democratization kind of internet access that I kind of was thinking. It's more of a commercial. I mean, $500 up front is not cheap. So it's obviously like tailored towards the middle class and upper class.
Yeah.
And yeah, because even trying to like build your like buy your. I actually talked to Comcast recently, just to test the waters, just to see, And the guy was like, "Yeah, it'll cost you like maybe thousands to tens of thousands to like build your own like fiber optic line to your house and stuff." So
Right.
yeah, so it's like the cheapest option will be to do like coaxial with Comcast, even if you don't like their pricing and stuff. So I'm stuck with
Correct.
Comcast, and other people are stuck with SpaceX Starlink. But at the same time, if you have bad internet in there and you need it. Like
Correct.
if I couldn't get those speeds they're talking about, like 20 down, like
Correct.
that's pretty rough. Actually, you know what it was? It was 100 down and 20 up, I believe. The article was kind of didn't write it as well as I wanted it to, but it's still like that's pretty good. 100 down and 20 up.
Yeah.
If you pay that upfront cost, like $99 a month, that's better than like the cost for business. But it's not a dedicated line, but yeah. So
Correct. And also too, here's part of the topic. Since FCC 2 years ago approved SpaceX to launch 11,943 satellites, with the company aiming to deploy 4,425 satellites in orbit by 2024. What do you think about all these satellites being in space and doing all this to help this? Do you think that's causing too much clutter? Do you think this is eventually going to cause problems in the atmosphere? What do you think about all this stuff, Joe? This is like I've been thinking about this, like like that's too much clutter. It's gonna be up there.
personally, I think it's an interesting problem. I do. I kind of find it fascinating. Like because you know, it's going to have to be like an international, you know, addressed internationally, or people are going to have to figure out how to like deal with it. And I just find it interesting to see like what are people going to do with it? Like, are people going to like start pushing other people's trash? Like, are they going to like, you know, is it going to be cheaper for them to send like NASA or somebody up there, right? To just, I don't know, either push it out of orbit and send it to the rest of the galaxy, or to bring it down like a meteorite, like a meteor. What are you gonna do? Like, what's the responsible thing? Or you just say you can't put up any more satellites until you have like NASA bring it into like a ship and land it safely to Earth. So I think it's a very fascinating thing, because I'm not sure. I haven't seen any articles. I haven't looked up to see how have we been dealing with this? Are we just like letting this stuff build up there?
Well, some of this stuff is going so fast that they can't catch it. We don't have anything to stop or capture this stuff.
Because we don't have any we don't have any space police.
Correct, and it's too fast. It's like when it revolves around the Earth, it's like it's spinning like at so many milliseconds. I don't know what the speed is, Joe. I don't know if you want to Google that, but it's too fast that we don't have the technology to capture it anymore.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, I don't know how fast. I don't know how fast it's going, but how do we stop this from getting out of control? Because it seems like it's going to eventually get out of control.
Yeah, so I guess satellites have to orbit the planet at 7,000 miles per hour. Yeah.
See, and
that's pretty nuts.
You imagine trying to catch that sphere at 7,000 miles per hour. It'll rip you right off. It'll hand right off.
You know, I don't. Oh, gosh, how do they do that? You know, like, is it like inflated the miles per hour based on, because the Earth is spinning, right? So the Earth is spinning and the satellite's not actually spinning that fast, right? Because the Earth is spinning, but like how fast are they really moving satellites? I don't get it.
Think about it. That we're down here on the bottom of the Earth, and we travel a lot slower than the things in space.
Yeah, I guess it actually has to travel 7,000 for the most expensive satellites that you want to keep there.
Correct.
You know, there are other satellite services that you just let it go around, right?
Yeah.
And you have to wait 24 hours to get service again for that satellite. So that's why they have multiple satellites, right? But maybe you do have to have. I don't know. That's crazy. I don't know how they do that. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I guess they have to send it up at an ascent, right? And then once it gets into orbit, it's staying at that 7,000, right? And eventually, it's losing speed.
I think so.
That is nuts.
We have a couple of responses here.
Yeah.
I can't say his name. He's saying is the Earth is square. Then he's saying it's octagon, or maybe even a triangle. I would love to see the Earth is square, perfectly square, an orbit going around, or an octagon,
or a triangle.
Because here's the thing: is to what I've heard, he's pretty much almost like kind of accurate, because everything falls. It's almost like an octagon, because as it's falling onto orbit, into the Earth, it's actually catching every single corner, or Dokagon, or whatever he said, the other guy. It's like every time it's falling, it catches by the corners and it just keeps on going. It keeps like rotating, so it's like an incremental. That's what I'm assuming. So it prevents it from falling to Earth. But the question is, how would you catch it?
Yeah, well, that's the whole point, right? I guess a circle would have like infinite amount of sides, basically. Like, you know, it's the perfect like micro. It has the most amount of edges possible. It's in the trillions, or a number that I can't even describe.
Yeah, it may be Googleplex. I don't know if you heard of that, Googleplex.
Yeah, I know. I've done that before. I've look at Wikipedia to see what the next big numbers are for whatever, like the stars or, storage, or how fast like the supercomputers go at.
Oh man, you
Yeah.
don't want to go there, man. Quantum. I don't know if we talked about this, but there is something called quantum. Quantum. What's it called? What did I tell you? Quantum bits. Now, where you actually use internet speeds at quantum level, it transfers your data in less than a second. So as soon as you submit something, you already have the data, just before you need a blink of an eye.
That's cool. I'm still
So
trying to get. I'm still trying to get, like, I don't know, 10 up.
Oh man, yeah, that is crazy. So